Well, hey everybody, it's Kris from Rate the Record, and it's that time of the week again where Savannah and I choose a bunch of singles to review and review them. What else do we do? So yeah, Savannah has her own batch of singles that she's reviewing this week, so if you haven't seen those yet, then right above my head right there, a card just popped up. You can go watch her video. You can either watch it now or wait until the end of this one. I won't be long, I promise. And of course, links to all the tracks that we go ahead and review are going to be down in the description below, so you can check them out yourselves. Let us know what you think of those songs. There you go, I can speak. So the first song I got is Destroyer with the song Tintoretto, It's For You. So Tintoretto, which I'm just going to call for short, is the first single from the brand new album Labyrinthitis, which is going to be released actually this coming March, and yes, it's by the Canadian indie rock band Destroyer. It's going to be the act's 13th studio album since debuting in 1996. The song kicks off with this skippy feeling kind of pluck bass line, really cool tone to it. Pretty much indie bass tone down to a T. You got the vocals that join in shortly afterwards, and then these drum machines, which I feel like is an 808, but it's probably some sort of drum machine, I don't know. The vocals are kind of actually interesting because it's spoken in a very poetic way, kind of like a minimal type of melody. It's kind of like spoken word. It probably is spoken word. As the verse progresses, there's the addition of this kind of dreamy but eerie jazzy kind of piano. Regardless, it creates a lot of tension, and it pushes through the verse like that, but you know what, it's not too loud or abrasive, so it actually sounds kind of interesting. That plucky bass through the verses suddenly gives way to a synth bass when the chorus finally comes in, and unfortunately, I just kind of feel like the chorus is some of the weaker portions of this whole song. Like, there's not enough there, and maybe not what I was expecting it to be. It's still moody though, it just doesn't feel like it adds too much because again, it feels very minimal. The song continues to flow in a very similar sense right until the end of the song, when pretty much all of the instrumentation takes on that kind of skippy beat that the plucky bass was doing in the beginning, so that's kind of what wraps things up a bit. The interesting part is towards the end there's like a horn section that kind of comes in, slightly distorted, slightly warped, but it is kind of interesting, and that's kind of where the song cuts off though. Overall, it's not a terrible track. I mean, I did listen to it a few times and a few parts did grow on me I found interesting. The song is only 3 minutes and change, so I would assume it's pretty easy for anyone to get through. For the next single this week that I have, it's Cycle by Underoath. So Underoath is back with their first album since 2018, and this project this time around is called Voyeurist. The album actually dropped this past Friday, and there was 4 singles to go along with it as it was going up to the release date. The single I'm looking at today is called Cycle. It was the final single to be released for the album back in October, but apparently re-released in December. I'm not entirely certain. It was kind of hard to find the timeline for that. According to Wikipedia, it was released twice, so if you're an Underoath fan, please let me know what the hell's going on here. The song starts with a bang, and I mean, it's your typical metalcore type of affair in this type of track, so it's nothing too big, but it is still exciting the way it starts. As is kind of the norm in the genre, you have these screaming vocals kind of intertwined with the cleaner ones, so that you get a kind of a good balance of both as they go throughout. And of course with the guitar you have these open chugging strings, and these like little licks kind of thrown in everywhere. Very energetic, and they have a great tone to them too, so I mean, I'm gonna give that marks. This song actually isn't too crazy either as compared to what you would expect in a metalcore song, so that's actually pretty good considering if you're casual with the genre, it's much more digestible, so probably an easier track to get into. The song kind of just flows, and then you get to the middle of the song where there's this like weird nu metal kind of portion to it. I don't have a whole lot to say for it only because, again, I don't feel the hottest about it, so it's there, it's a bridge, so cool. Going into the last chorus, there was these really interesting vocal harmonies. I really enjoyed that, kind of perked it up a little bit. And yes, it's metalcore, so you do have a breakdown in here. It's not one of those big, nasty breakdowns you'd expect to hear in the genre, but it's suited enough for the track, so again, marks. Overall, it's not bad. I mean, I'm not super into a lot of the cores from, like, you know, the early to mid 2000s type thing, except for like a handful of bands. But this is a decent track considering it's considered a comeback. The final song for my reviews is Def Club with For a Good Time Call Someone Else. Okay, so wow, where the hell did this one come from? So Los Angeles, California outfit Def Club just dropped a brand new album back on January 6th called Productive Disruption. There wasn't really a single I could find directly, but I do believe that this one is because they have a music video for it. It's on their Bandcamp and on YouTube. So you can check that out. So yeah, this is the one I'm looking at today. It's an absolutely blistering, noisy, hardcore punk, I guess. It's hard to describe. Let's just say it has a little bit of everything loud and noisy. For sound comparison's sake, I'll say it kind of gave me vibes of like the Calculating Infinity days of the Dillinger Escape Plan, and quite literally anything from the catalog of The Locust. For a Good Time Call Someone Else is like a serious full force punch to the head from second 0.1. Loud, fast, just ear-piercing mayhem. And I'm here for it. The hardest part about reviewing this song is it's hard to put what I'm hearing into words, so I hope I've already done a good job at doing that. Nothing ever stops moving. It's just pure sound violence. If you do decide to check it out, just be warned, it's absolute insanity. If you're not used to this kind of music, it's going to be jarring as hell. I will say that I do dig it though. I actually kind of like this type of music. I can't listen to it all the time, but when I'm in the mood for it, it's there for me. The song is incredibly short too, only 1 minute and 15 seconds. And that's all I have for this week. Those are the singles that I reviewed. I would like to know what you think about them, so please let me know down in the comments below. And once again, if you haven't checked out Savannah's video, you can go ahead and check that out. You didn't click the card at the beginning, don't worry, there's going to be a big card on my head real soon, or somewhere in the vicinity. You can watch her video too. Don't forget to check out the podcast too. A new episode comes out every Monday, and yesterday's episode was our second ever fan requested episode. It's a country album, might not be your cup of tea, but it's interesting to get into this one because I think we have a lot of interesting things to say about it. It's Brooks and Dunn, Steers and Stripes, something I'm not particularly used to, but hey, check out the review, see what you think, have some fun with us, and we will see you again next Monday and Tuesday for the podcast and the reviews. Take care, friends.